The first thing we're going to do is make something called torta di mele, an apple cake. And it starts with yellow delicious apples, because this is a favorite apple in the Tuscan area. Today we're using an 8-inch square pan, and you see what I've done here. I've lined it with a piece of aluminum foil, then buttered the pan and floured it. This is going to make it easy for me to lift the cake out of the pan, because this is a rather moist, flat cake. And our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. So now that you know that, we can continue on, and the first thing we want to do is sift our flour. So we need about 3/4 cup of unbleached all-purpose flour. So put it in a sifter, and then with it, we need about 3/4 teaspoon of some baking powder. And baking powder is called double-acting baking powder because it works once with wet ingredients after you mix the flour and the other dry ingredients together, and then it works again in the oven. So double-acting baking powder. And a pinch of sale, or salt. So we just want to lighten the flour. So I'm just going to put this to the side, and now I want my eggs, which I've already prepared for you, 3 eggs in a bowl, and we want 1 more. So 4 eggs, and we want to beat those up a little bit, and with it, 1/2 cup of sugar. So add the sugar slowly. You want to get those eggs nice and foamy and lemon-colored looking. That looks good. And now we want some sour cream, or you could use heavy cream. About 1/4 cup sour cream. You know, in Italy they use something called panna doppia, which is very high-fat cream, but this will be a good substitution for that. So sour cream, get that mixed in. And now we want a little vanilla. And I like the flavor of vanilla, so I'm going to add about a tablespoon. Use a good vanilla extract. And we also want some lemon zest. This is really going to lift the flavor of this apple cake. And I love to use this microplaner. You see, this just takes the zest off this lemon very easily without taking the white part, which is the pith. And the pith is rather strong and bitter. You don't want that in your dish. So out of a large lemon, you can get about a tablespoon of lemon zest. So, okay, we've got all that. And now we just mix that up. See how easy this is? Okay, now we add in our flour. So here's our flour mixture. That goes in. Again, we mix that around. Now we need our apples. And you need about 4 or 5 or 6 apples, large apples, about 6 or 7 cups of apples. And you just want to mix the apples well in the batter. You see how loose that batter is. It's not a very thick batter at all. So get all the apples well coated with the mixture. So once it's all mixed up, you can now put it in your pan. Remember, you've preheated the oven 350 degrees. And now we want to put this into our prepared pan. Get it all in neatly and press it in so it's all evenly distributed in your baked dish. So press them in, make sure everything's within the foil. And now this goes into the oven. And when it comes out, we're going to do a couple decorative things to this. Doesn't that look good? So in the oven it goes. For about 30 or 35 minutes, you'll have to go back and check it with a cake tester. The cake tester comes out clean. You know that it's ready.